I know there's only a couple of you here, but that's okay. I'm very thankful for the two wonderful members I have had for the longest of time. And I would like to share with you about trauma, adult lack of emotional maturity. It's going to be a two-part series, I believe. So the first part is going to be dealing with the emotional maturity and what that looks like. You may know somebody or have somebody in your life right now you're seeing some of these signs in. I have been dealing with somebody in my life. I will call this person Julie, and I will call her boyfriend John. Excuse me. So we're talking about Julie and John in the light of emotional immaturity and what that relationship has looked like in my life dealing with this person. So there's different characteristics of emotional immaturity. First of all is the lack of emotional awareness. A lot of these things seem very from listening to me talk about them, you're like, well, that's just obvious. I mean, I know when I'm upset. I know when I'm angry. I get it when I'm hurt. Somebody does me wrong. I feel it. I know. People that did not grow up in safe, wholesome, balanced living environments lack emotional maturity a lot of times. So they're not really in touch with their emotions, which means they can't really be in touch with your emotions either. So, a lack of emotional awareness means exactly what it sounds like, the opposite of what you're thinking. They aren't aware of what they really are feeling. They are aware there's a feeling there, but they don't exactly understand where it came from, why it's there, and that very often it stemmed from childhood issues that did not get resolved properly. They have trouble expressing their feelings and their emotions. They have a lot of mood changes sometimes that don't make a whole lot of sense. They could suddenly become angry or sad or depressed over something that's kind of minimal to the casual onlooker. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some of the examples I've experienced with Julie. Well, like, okay, not getting enough hours at work could become like a major chaotic crisis in Julie's life. And she would just have a meltdown about it. And maybe I won't go to work, or maybe I just won't, talk to anybody tomorrow at work because I didn't get enough hours and it's not fair. And, they told me I could have this many hours and now they're shorting me my hours at work. And you're like, okay, so they probably just had to give somebody else the hours. I mean, bosses have to divvy up the hours among the employees. No, I need these hours. They don't understand. I have to pay my bills. I have to do this. I have to. It's a big major crisis. It's something that to most people that are not emotionally dysregulated, they can just coast through and figure, well, I guess I'll have to budget a little better this week because I'm not going to have as many hours. So I'm not going to be able to maybe pay all the bills I normally do. I'll have to talk to the bill collectors and let them know my situation. But oh no, Julie just, that's like life as we know it has ended. So, um, and they're very confused as to why they feel the way they do. They don't understand their own emotions. They don't get what's triggering them to feel so intensely. They just know that they have these intense feelings. Therefore, since they don't recognize their own emotions, they have a hard time recognizing yours. So even if you are in a real crisis, you may not find empathy from Julie. She's too busy licking her own wounds to notice that, somebody just hurt you and you're devastated about it. And she'll probably say something like, oh, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. You're such a wimp. Why are you so whiny? You're just a wimpy baby. It's not a big issue. But her things are a major issue. And God help you if you don't make them a major issue for you too. Because to her, like I said, it's the end of the world as we know it. Too bad I don't have that song. I could just chime that on in there. Okay, the next thing is Julie did not handle conflict well at all. In fact, Julie just liked to always have fun and do goofy things and, go out to movies and games and whatever was fun. That's what she wanted to do, go out to eat. That was a big thing for Julie because she didn't like conflict. And anytime anything felt conflicting to her, she would say, well, let's not talk about that. Let's just eat and have a good time. I like fun. I like having fun. That's not mature. That's a child. That's like a teenager. They don't want to deal with, emotionally stressful, intense situations, things that bring conflict. They don't like that. Um, so because they can't resolve the conflict because everything is so intense for them. Like I said, the end of the world as we know it. They don't want to deal with it because they don't know how to fix it. They can't solve it. They can't sit and say, well, if I do this, this will happen. Maybe I should do this instead. Maybe I should avoid doing that. No, they don't reason that way. They're not mature enough. They haven't developed enough in their adult life to get to a point where they can sit and weigh the pros and the cons and the cause and effect. They don't have the ability to do that like an adult person would. Um, they have a hard time seeing things objectively. Well, my boyfriend only called me once today, and I really need to hear from him at least every hour. Is your boyfriend working, Julie? Well, yes, but I need this because I feel hurt and neglected, and I don't feel secure in the relationship unless he calls me many times a day. Even if the boyfriend says, look, I was in the bathroom. I knew it was time to call you, but I left my phone in the other room. Well, I can't have that. I can't have a relationship like this. I need to know that that phone is going to ring at this time because I need to have you call me many times a day or I just don't feel like you love me. That's emotional immaturity. Um they don't like feeling vulnerable. When we talk to Julie about, don't you think maybe the reason why things are going the way they're going in your life is because of your reactions, because of you getting upset over things that you can probably work through if you sit down with somebody and work it out? I don't want to talk about this. This is bringing up a lot of pain and I can't handle that. And I don't want to talk about the past. It's over with. It's done. My ex-husband used to say that all the time. Over and done with history. That was his way of not dealing with any of the painful emotions that caused him to be a workaholic, for instance. He didn't ever want to talk in therapy about his problems. He just wanted to blame me for his problems. Emotional immaturity. Um, and Julie would often say, like, if I confronted her and said, well, Julie, I'm seeing something here that's like kind of concerning me that you're like not giving John the right to make choices over how he wants to spend his time. So it's kind of like you're being almost like a puppeteer. I resent you saying that. I don't appreciate you calling me a puppeteer. I don't control anyone. Again, emotional immaturity. An emotionally mature person would say, wow, I'd like to know more. Why do you say that? Why do you feel that I'm, treating him like I'm pulling his strings and pushing his buttons or, making him into my puppet? Why would you say that? But no, an emotionally immature person would immediately react with defensiveness like that. And Julie did. Emotionally immature people become very easily offended. Even if they sense that you might not like something that they bought you at the store. Why are you turning your nose up at that food? Like, this is delicious. I love, fried rice with ham. It's delicious. Okay, Julie, I don't care for ham. I really don't eat ham. Yes, but it's delicious. Oh, look how good that looks. It tastes so good. Emotionally immature. They cannot accept that you have other feelings about something that are not their feelings and their emotions. They're emotionally immature. Um And okay, say they want to go and do something with you, but you're busy. You have to work that day. I'm sorry, Julie, I can't make it. I have to work these extra hours. I told my boss I would step in for so and so because their mom's in the hospital. They needed to go on an emergency run and see what was going on with that. I told them I would come in a little bit early and work a little bit longer. Well, that's fine. I know you really don't even like these kind of movies, so I can understand that you don't want to spend time with me. And other people and that stuff is more important than I am. I get it. Emotionally immature. A mature person would say, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I didn't know all that stuff was going on." I feel like there's a bug crawling on me. That's why I keep going like that on my head because it just feels like something's crawling on my face and I don't like it. It could just be my hair. It could be a weird sensation. I promise I'm emotionally mature. I'm just irritated right now by whatever I keep feeling on my face. Okay, so I do digress. Um, they cannot separate their emotions from what's happening around them at all. Like, oh, my boyfriend and I had a fight. I'm not going to be able to work tomorrow. Why? Because my boyfriend and I had a fight and I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I can't process anything. I can't think. I won't be any good at work. I'm thinking of calling in. You had one fight with your boyfriend. You're going to call off work. Yes, I can't do it, Laura. I can't. I need time. That's another statement of the emotionally immature person. They don't want to deal with things, so they need time. What they're saying is, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to block it from my mind. I'm going to turn on a movie and forget it ever existed. That's what that means. So everything around them affects who they are and what they do. They suspect foul play with other people pretty much on a regular basis. Anytime something does not go the way they want it, oh, well, they're probably cheating on me. I bet that he has a girl over there right now. Last week, he was holding on to his friend's thing, and she had him holding on to some gaming stuff for him or whatever, and she's a girl. So I bet that girl's over there with him right now, and that's why he's not calling me. That's why he decided to cancel our dinner time tonight. When you have no proof of that whatsoever, they automatically assume, and then they might even call the boyfriend up. Julie did that a lot. I understand that, you don't want to go out with me, but I know that you got that girl over there right now. I know it because her stuff was in your apartment last week, and you probably got more of her stuff in your apartment, and you're probably doing something with her, and you just don't want to be with me. Again, emotionally immature. They always suspect somebody is out to get them, and people are doing things purposely to wound them and to hurt them and destroy them. Okay. The next part of emotional immaturity. They cannot let go of the control. They have to have the upper hand. One time when I went out with Julie, we went out to do something together. Oh, there is something crawling on me. Is it an ant, maybe? Oh, fruit fly or something. Okay, well, anyway, I'm glad that's figured out. We went out to do something together, some activity, and we were gone for like the whole entire day. It was a Sunday. And Julie made all the plans. We're going to go here, we're going to go there, we're going to go to the park, we're going to go bowling, we're going to go watch a movie, we're going to do this or that. And the very next day, I explained to her that I wasn't feeling good. And she said, well, I thought we could get together and I would choose what to do tonight. And I'm like, okay, well, isn't that what happened yesterday? No, Laura, it was all about you yesterday. You planned this, you planned that, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, I didn't. You asked me if I was okay doing it, and you said that that's what you wanted to do. And she said, Julie gets to choose sometimes, I was like, okay, Julie chose all day yesterday, so I don't know what that was about. They also third person a lot, especially if they're on the borderline personality spectrum or the narcissistic spectrum. But emotional immaturity, having to always have the control, and then blaming you for it when they actually are the ones having trouble letting go of it. They cannot be vulnerable. We talked about that. They don't want to talk about serious issues because that opens up their heart, and they can't handle having their heart broken. which they assume you're going to break their heart if you're going to talk to them about anything serious, even if that couldn't be furthest from your idea of how you want to treat them. They cannot trust the other person. They are fine within the relationship. This is something I noticed about Julie all the time. If John was there with her, they'd be kissing and hugging and laughing and wrestling and doing, what young teenage like people do, even though she's in her 30s. But when John wasn't there because John had to work or John just wanted some alone time to hang out at his apartment, meltdown city. Phone blew up. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard from John. He hasn't called me once today. I know it's early, but he should be calling me by now. And I'm like, Julie, he's not up at this hour. I know, but wouldn't he be thinking about me? I couldn't sleep all night. I was thinking about him. Again, emotionally immature. I mean, it's like dealing with a teenager in an adult's body, really. And you're like, okay, well, it makes sense that he hasn't called you yet because he's not awake. I'm sure he'll call you when he gets up. Well, he better. And then, of course, if time goes by and Julie hasn't heard from John, immediately, oh, he's probably got that girl over there. He probably just doesn't care. He's blowing off work again. I bet he's doing drugs. I bet he's smoking. I bet he's doing, yeah, emotional immaturity again. They freak out when their significant other is not present. They're fine in the relationship, but when he goes to do anything other than hang with them, meltdown city. Another thing of emotional immaturity is all about me. Me. I need this time with you. I need to be told that you love me. I need gifts. I need hugs. I need kisses. I want. That's the other thing. I want to know that you aren't with somebody else. I want to know that you're not holding on to their stuff. I want to know where you are at any given time. I want to know that you're thinking about me. Emotional insecurity. The thing is, if you're in a healthy relationship, this stuff happens naturally. Unless the person is like on the autism spectrum and has trouble with like interaction like that, intimacy, things like that. But in a normal, like a neurotypical relationship, the guy's going to buy you gifts. If he knows you like certain things, he's going to kiss you spontaneously. He's going to call you when he thinks of you. It's not something that you should have to sit and pine over all the time. That's emotional immaturity. And if you are the one that's non-toxic and emotionally mature, what are you doing in a relationship with someone that's not? Go find yourself a relationship where you both are mature. That will solve that problem right there. You hurt me is another thing you will often hear from the emotionally immature person. That hurt me. You hurt me. What you said wounded my heart. That kind of baloney. Like, get out the violins and the hip boots. Because, as somebody once told me, pull up your big girl panties and talk about it like an adult. Not you hurt me, wah. And if you're feeling that way, if you're the one that's emotionally immature, please go get therapy. Please. Because you're just going to drive people away from you. It's not something that's healthy. It's not something that people that are emotionally mature really want to deal with. They see it as very juvenile and very uncomfortable to be around. Just saying. People who are emotionally immature want to be the center of attention all the time. Julie actually would stop people in mid-conversation and tell them what to say. Yes, I did say what you heard me say. She would say, well, that's not how it went. You need to explain it this way. She'd literally take over the conversation midstream and tell you what to say. It was crazy. I've never seen anybody do that. They're very envious of others. Julie actually told me at one time that her friend got to go see a certain movie or something. She's like, I never got to see that movie. And they're there right now with their whole family. Okay? Well, I didn't get to ever see that movie. So that's not fair. Again, emotional immaturity. And now we are 14 again. Now we are teenagers, but we're 30 something years old acting like 14. Yeah. There are adults that do this. I kid you not. I have dealt with this with adults, and it's why I'm sharing this. And they need counseling, by the way, therapy, very quickly and very soon before they drive you bonkers. Um, they definitely envy other people's successes and blessings in their life. I actually, at one point, with one of these people, not necessarily Julie, but another person had said, I want you to pick me a boyfriend and match make for me. Because remember, I used to run a dating service called Cupid's Corner. And I said, okay, well, let's talk about what you want in a guy. And this emotionally immature woman said, I want them to match my cuteness. I said, what? I want them to match my cuteness. They have to match my cuteness because I'm good looking, so they have to look like that. They have to, like, match me. Because my former boyfriend, he matched me. And I was like, oh, dear God in heaven. Are we back to high school again? Yes, we were back to high school again. For sure. Yes, that's emotional immaturity. All eyes on me is another sign of emotional immaturity in people. And you have to praise them when your eyes are on them. Not all eyes on me to find something I did wrong and let me know. All eyes on me to make sure that you're singing my praises and telling me I'm pretty, telling me I'm beautiful, telling me I'm talented. More emotional immaturity. Emotionally immature people are impulsive. They don't think of the repercussions of their actions. Like, if I do this, this person might get upset. If I do that, I could upset the boss and I might lose my job. If I spend all my money, I might not be able to pay my rent. Yet they don't think of that stuff. They're very impulsive. Let's go out and have fun. Let's go here. Let's go there. I'm going to go buy you the biggest, most extravagant gift because I want to see you smile. Emotionally immature. Okay, we're on number 7. They will not take responsibility. They always are the victim. He hurt me. He did this to me. He's an idiot. He's a jerk. How could he break my heart like that? Didn't he know how in love we were? Victim, victim, victim. Not okay, Julie. Can you see maybe where you pushed him away by being too forceful with him? By telling him he had to do this and he had to do that and you needed to hear from him so often? No, Laura. No. He just didn't love me right. He didn't love me the way I needed to be loved. He wasn't there for me. People just do that to me. I've had other guys and they all did this to me. I'm just going to be by myself and isolate myself and have nobody. Victim. Emotional immaturity. They cannot apologize, or it's very difficult for them to apologize unless there's some reward in it for them. I'm sorry, so now can we get back together? I'm sorry, so will you call me more often now? I'm sorry, so let's just forget that you have that friend that you're supposed to hang out with and just spend your time with me. Emotional immaturity. Pity parties. I already kind of went into that with the whole victim thing. Poor me. Everybody mistreats me. Everybody abuses me. Nobody's there for me. Number 8, selfishness. They cannot do the give and take thing. It's always, you have to do this for me. I need this from you. Why are you not more like this? You need to change this or do that. It's always them. Well, what do you need to do, Julie? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. Let's do some soul searching and see where you fall short here in this relationship, because relationships are about him giving to you, you giving to him, not you taking from him and giving nothing in return. Yeah, they don't get that. They feel entitled to get whatever they want, whatever they decide that they must have. They expect others only to do for them and them not to reciprocate. And then they will turn on the other that has been reciprocating and giving to them and say, you aren't giving me enough. You aren't reciprocating. I'm doing all this stuff for you and you're not giving anything in return. When all along, They're probably enabling the person, first of all, because in this case, Julie hooked up with somebody that had other vices in their life, who could not be emotionally available to meet her needs. And she was wondering, why do they keep hurting me? Why won't they give me what I need? Well, they don't have it to give. Somebody that doesn't have something can't give you something. But because Julie was emotionally immature, she didn't get that. She kept expecting and being disappointed repeatedly by John. Um, they hold grudges. They don't let things go. And then, of course, they accuse you of being the one to hold the grudge. They'll just keep on rehearsing and rehashing all the bad things that happened and all the mean things that were done and how the person didn't say things the right way and, you know, they have to do this or that or I won't be complete. I have to have them in my life or I can't live anymore. I'm going to go and end everything because I need them. They completed me. I hate that term, by the way. I'm going to go and marry somebody that completes me. You better be complete before you get married. Because that other person is not going to make you complete. Nobody else can make you fully complete in yourself. You have to get that from, in my opinion, heaven, God, as you know him, and within yourself. Another person comes to a relationship with their hangups and their background and everything that they're still probably working through, and you want them to meet all your needs. Nope, unrealistic, emotionally immature. Um, they sulk. They pout a lot and feel sorry for themselves and want everybody else to pout with them. They'll post things on social media about how the person fell short and how their perfect person will do this, that, and the other, and then they will live happily ever after with their prince or princess. They justify their anger towards others however they need to or think they need to justify it. Well, if only they had done this, if only they had done that, I wouldn't be so angry. If only life would go my way. They want revenge sometimes, you know. Well, I'm going to call that girl up. I know her number, or I know people that know her, and I'm going to tell her all about him just so that she doesn't get hurt when really what you're saying is, I'm going to tell her all about him so she'll get away from him and I can have him. That's how that works. And the last part we're going to do today is bullying or starting rumors. And name calling is one of the first things an emotionally immature person does. They're such a jerk. They're an idiot. They're a blankety blank blank blank. They are just, a lot of times they'll say they're narcissistic. They're conceited. They only care about themselves when all they were doing was rolling out the red carpet for Julie and whining and dining her to the best of their ability. And that wasn't even enough. So, yeah, so they're to blame in Julie's eyes because Julie is emotionally immature. All the blame goes to the other person for someone that's emotionally immature. They do not know how to balance anything. They definitely lack emotional stability and emotional regulation. Generally, this comes from childhood, y'all, from an emotionally neglectful parent or parents, or a parent that spoiled them. They were the star child. They were the golden child, the one that never could fail because everybody looked up to them. So never let them see you sweat. Never make a mistake because you're our pride and joy. You're our baby boy or our baby girl, and don't disappoint mommy and daddy. So they grow up to have all these distorted feelings and opinions within relationships that really push people away. They're kind of the I hate you, don't leave me type people. I'm going to push you away. I'm going to devalue you. I'm going to see you as all black with no white specks in it so that I can just justify treating you like garbage. And then I'm going to complain that you didn't treat me right because I don't know how to process my emotions that are making me reject you and abandon you first. Yeah. So whether you want to call it emotional dysregulation, borderline personality traits, or just plain emotional immaturity, this is it in a nutshell, y'all. This is it. Um, where is the help? Cognitive behavioral therapy helps some people. If they do have borderline, then they would want dialectic behavioral therapy, schema therapy, evidence-based therapies. Evidence based therapies work wonders. I've been through some, my husband's been through some, And they really help you process those childhood traumas that unfortunately you drag into your new situations with you. And you try to reenact history to redo it in your mind. There's a word that I always forget what it is, history something, where you repeat history with that person kind of in your mind as the punishing parent or the neglectful parent or the aggrandizing parent. And you're going to redo history till you get it right. And unfortunately, those people know nothing about why you're doing what you're doing. They just see the actions and take them very personally and really don't like you very much. So, usually, those relationships don't tend to last. If they do, and you marry the person, you probably have a lot of problems in your marriage till you get the help you need. Or y'all just ignore each other and go your separate ways, or are unfaithful in the relationship or abusive in the relationship. It's just not a good thing. So you got to do some inner child healing work and some trauma therapy, maybe some deliverance if you're into the spiritual end of things. But you need to realize that those coping skills you used years ago as a child, as an adult, they're not beneficial to you. They're just going to cause you to see the world in a very strange way that it isn't, and non objective way. And you need to be able to see things objectively and step out of them and realize, hey, this is not going to work and serve me in a good way. So, anyway, that is part one. And I will be back at another time within the next few days, hopefully, to do part two, where we actually talk a little bit more in depth at what this looks like played out within the relationship. Things like magical thinking, security delays, perception issues, things like that. We'll talk about that next on the next member video. Thanks for watching me, members. I appreciate the two of you. If you think this is beneficial, just let other people know that it's here in the membership area. And I appreciate your time. Have a great night.